Welcome back to the tracker here on Citi TV. We are speaking to Vitoria Guimaraes left fullback Gideon Mensah. Now, Gideon, you were telling us about settling down in Austria, getting your contract probably signed professionally, and also getting your passport extended so you could stay. When did you sign professional terms finally with Red Bull Salzburg, and when did they decide that Gideon Mensah is good enough to play for us full time?
My first contract with the second team was like for 3 years. That was like from 2016.
When you say the second team, do you mean Liefering?
Yeah, Liefering, yeah. So
okay.
The first contract was not with Red Bull. It was with the second team. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, basically the second team, but they have a different name because of the league. So then we had to play the youth league. Okay. The youth league was for the 19. And I was still 18, so I was able to play, which we won the title. So after the youth league, we went for pre-season, and I did pre-season with the first team. I played some couple of games with the first team, and then after that, they gave me a new contract, which was not with the second team no more, but with the first team. So I think that was like in the year 2017. So that was when I got my first professional contract with the first team in Red Bull.
Tell me about how, having people like Samuel Tete and Lawrence Atizigi helped your own settling down process. How did that help you settle down? And how helpful have those guys been in your career so far?
They've been very, very, very helpful. On and off the field, because on the field, basically they were there before me. Especially Ziggy was there before me and Samuel Tete. Mm-hmm. So helping us with the language and also telling us how the football in Austria and then how people there in Austria wants us to behave, was a good thing for us. And then also off the field, you have people who you can go to restaurants with and eat, and then people that you can chat with during your free time. Mm-hmm. And that was more like, because it's more hard when you know nobody, and then you go from training, come back home, go for training, come back home again. It's more hard for you. But if you have people like that with you who you can do everything, because I remember that we could go for bowling, we could go for cutting, we could go for lunch, dinner, and then for me, that was like the best thing for me, because I wasn't going to think about football every day, because then it was going to be like, I was going to overthink, because what if football was not going well for me? And then basically things like that, even though it doesn't count, but helps us also when you're up here, and then you have people around you who you can do a lot of things with.
Now, a lot of Ghanaians, including yourself, have gone through the Austrian league system by now. I don't think a lot of people know how intense it is or what the competition there is like. For those who have not experienced it or don't have much knowledge about the Austrian league, how intense is the Austrian league? And how did you yourself perceive the league in your time while you were there?
So I had the chance to play in the Bundesliga, which is the first league, when I was on loan in the club called Sturm Graz. And then
Sturm Graz is a big team.
I think, that's a big team also. Yeah. And I think for me, playing for a club like Sturm Graz, not for Red Bull, was more intensive for me, because in Red Bull you have like the best quality of players. You have players from Asia, Africa, the whole around Europe. So the quality there was much more than the other clubs in Austria. But also for me, it was the best thing for me to play in a club like Sturm Graz, because where you have to find your way through. Even though you have good players around you, and then it's also a big club there. It was a good thing for me to find my way around how the league, because that was my first season playing in the league. And then you have like good teams in the team, because every weekend that you go out there to play a match, that you don't put in your head that you're going to have an easy game. Every team was coming out like they want to win. They want to win, even though it seems like Red Bull is winning all the titles every year. But it's not so easy for also Red Bull like that. They need to put in the work. They need to bring in the good players to win.
So we'll take a quick break here on the tracker. We'll come back and then we'll continue our conversation with Gideon Mensah. Welcome back to the tracker here on Citi TV. We are talking to Vitoria Guimaraes left back Gideon Mensah. Gideon, we experienced a little bit of a hitch there, but you were just concluding your point on what the Austrian league is like and what it feels like to play in the league. Just finish that for us before we go on.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I mean, it's a top league, even though we don't see it as a top league because they don't have like the famous clubs and then all these big clubs there. But I mean, coming from a place like Africa and then being in this league, it's a competitive league for you. Even in the second league was also a good league for a start, you know, for a stepping stone. So I would say the league is okay.
Did your time at Red Bull coincide with Erling Haaland's time there?
Yeah. So when the season he came, I was on loan.
Oh, okay.
In Stuttgart. So when I came, we did the preseason together, and then I left to Belgium again on loan.
Are you surprised at how quickly he's risen in the ranks of football?
No. I mean, looking at a club like Red Bull, they are known as I mean, getting good talent and then making them blow up like very quick when you're very determined to do that, you know. So when he came, basically he wasn't playing because there was one striker who was like banking goals like every week, so he didn't have the chance to play. And I quite remember the fans were so angry that they brought a player and then he's not playing. And then there was a game they gave him a chance and he scored two goals. His first game that he started, he scored 2 goals. And then he went to the, I think, under 20 World Cup, and he scored like 9 goals in one game. If I'm not lying.
Yep.
He scored 9 goals in one game, or 7 goals in one game. So I think having the talent and playing the team like Red Bull, and then if you're really, really determined, it doesn't take you long there. If that's your time, then that's your time. So I wasn't really surprised when he moved up very quick.
Now, you yourself moved on loan to the Belgian Pro League to play for Zulte Waregem. Now, tell me a little bit about that, because the Belgian League is obviously one of the more respected leagues around the world. What led first and foremost to your decision to go out on loan? And also tell us about how challenging it was to play in a league that's different from where you were coming from.
So, it happened, you know, I did the preseason with Red Bull after the season in Stuttgart. And then I believe that I had a good preseason with them. Looking at the friendly games against Chelsea and Real Madrid and most of the friendly games we played, I did my best. And then I showed them that I was ready to be in the first team and then to play in the first team. So what happened was we started the league for like 4 or 5 games, and I wasn't in the squad. I was always in the stands. So I spoke with my current agent now, and then I was like, I don't want to be here because I don't want to be from a season where I played almost all the games in the league, and then I'm gonna be a player who's not gonna play for this season, you know. So I want to leave. So we had to do something quickly. So there was one time he called me that he has a club for me in Belgium, and then he wants me to pack my stuff. So he's gonna talk to Red Bull, and then we're gonna leave the next couple of days. So obviously Red Bull wanted me to go back to Stuttgart because they want to keep an eye on me in the same league. And then I told them that I love challenges, and then obviously I came from stronger, and I know what is there already. So I wanna go out there and then see what I can do for myself also. So I told him, nah, I want to go to Belgium with my agent. So that happened. So he called me one day. I was at training and I had to leave, go pack my stuff, call a taxi, and then drive me to the airport. So it happened very quick for me going to Belgium.
Now, just before we even talk about the Belgian league in detail, let's even stay there. Talk to me about Zulte Waregem and how that helped to move you on to the next level. Did it help your confidence? Did the regular playing time help you to get rhythm? What exactly did you take out of that loan spell in the Pro League?
So going to Belgium really built my confidence on the field of play. And even before I went there, I got emails and calls from the head coach there. He really sounded like he really wants me, like he really wants to use me. And then in football, as a player, you always want to feel important. You always want to feel like they need me. You always want to feel like if I'm not there, means there's going to be something missing on the field. So and that coach gave me that vibe. He gave me that feeling that if you're not there, I'm not going to get the player to play for you. So when I went there, it was like, oh, love. He was happy for me. He was happy to see me there, and then he was like, it came to a time. I don't train for like Monday to Thursday, but I will still play on Saturday and play 90 minutes. It's not like in a bad way, but in a good way. I took it like, Gideon, this is what the people are seeing you, like they believe in you, so do the right thing for them, and then help them do what they want to do. So going to the field, I had like free mind. I go to the field, play my good game, and then come back home and then make the fans happy, and then make myself also happy. So confidently, it built me very, very, very good, and then it helped me also getting like much games and then having my playing time there.
Now, you played against Real Madrid in pre-season. First of all, tell me what that experience was like. And, I mean, were there any Real Madrid players who were like idols, guys you looked forward or looked up to before you played a game? What was that like?
So the Real Madrid game happened. I think we had a meeting when the coach said that Madrid is coming to Austria and they want to play a friendly game with us. And I remember everybody was so happy in that instantly. Everybody was saying, "I'm going to take this jersey. I'm going to take this jersey." And then obviously me, I've always been looking up to Marcelo. He's like a player that I look up to. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take his jersey. And then so for us, the game it was just like a game for us to have fun. It wasn't like, because obviously it was preseason game, and then it wasn't like something like a league game or Champions League or whatever. So we're just going to have fun. So we went out there. In our head, we were playing against people that we never expected that we were going to play against them, or even stand on the same field with them. So
yeah.
It was like a good feeling, and then also an amazing and a great experience for us also.
Did you end up with the Marcelo jersey?
Yeah, I did. So what happened was, I was so lucky. Before the last whistle was like a corner kick, and then he was on my side. Because obviously he's a left back and I'm a left back, so we cannot be on the same side. But what happened was a corner kick, so he ended up being on my side. So when the referee blew the final whistle, he went down praying. He went down on his knees praying, and then I was standing right beside him, and I was like, "Can I get your jersey, please?" And then he was like, "Come to the dressing room." So I rushed to the dressing room, and then when I went there, he gave the jersey to one of them as well, and then he gave it to me. So it was a great feeling to have his jersey, and I still have it here. So
that's some inspiration. That's brilliant. Now, still on the Spanish agenda, we learned that Barcelona were in for you at a point. Tell me about that. How serious was that interest from Barcelona in you? And I mean, even now that you look back at it, how do you feel?
I mean, it's a great feeling, it's a great feeling to see news about you on Facebook or news about you on the internet saying that a giant like Barcelona wants you. So what happened was, with my former agent, he called me one time and then he was like, "Do you want to play in Barcelona, or if you get a chance in Barcelona, will you go?" I was like, "Why not? I will go." So, and then he was like, so he got a call from them saying that they need a backup left back for Jordi Alba. Because I remember there was one black left back there. He left to, I think, Monaco. Yeah. So they needed a backup left back. So basically, if he went to, it was going to be like I was gonna have the first team contract on loan, but I was gonna play with the second team, and then like week in, I'm gonna play in the second team, and then if something happens in the first team, that means I'm gonna be the guy to play on the left side. But he spoke to me in the night, and the next morning I woke up, I saw the news everywhere on Facebook, like Barcelona. I was like, and I called him. I was like, how did you end up on the internet? Because obviously I'm not sure, because he's a guy who doesn't really know anything about the media in Ghana. So I was so shocked that the news was everywhere on Facebook and everywhere. So I called him. I was like, how did you end up on the internet? And he was like, he doesn't also know. So because basically we were trying to put it like underground till everything is successful or whatever. But I mean, and then so down the line I stopped working with him. I started working with that agent. So that was just it.
That's interesting. Hopefully Barcelona come back for your services sometime down in the future. But let's move it on. I mean, you've played in Portugal. You play at Guimaraes now, where you are with your I can almost say your twin brother Abdul Mumin, because the two of you are literally inseparable. How would you?
No, we are always fighting.
How would you describe your time in Portugal? Because you knew the Portuguese league. I mean, went to Austria and then came back to play in the Portuguese league. How has that improved your game as a footballer generally? I mean, the league itself, the Portuguese league.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the kind of player I am, looking at me loving to have challenges, and then loving to prove myself that I'm worth it, or I'm ready to play here. It's a good thing for me, because obviously if it's not a long contract that I have with the team, I don't want to be like in the club for 2 times, let's say 2 years loan or something, because I feel like I know this league already, so I don't want to be there anymore. So basically, I had different clubs also from Belgium, big clubs from Belgium who also wanted me on loan and all that. But I chose here because I really needed the playing time. Because I was some point of my career that I really need some games to prove myself. I really need some games to show that I'm ready for whatever challenge I'm going up to. So I came here for the playing time, and then I came here to also experience a new league and a new environment. So looking at the way looking at the reasons why I came here, I think it was a good thing for me to come here also.
Now, the news is that Red Bull Salzburg wants you back at the end of the campaign. Having been in an environment where you are in a team that has 4 other Ghanaian players, there are quite a number of other Ghanaians in the Portuguese league. How do you say you feel about the process of going back after experiencing a place with so much brotherhood and love?
I mean, with the players from Ghana being around me, it's not so different for me, because in Austria also you have like players like we mentioned already, Ziggy, Samuel, Atanga. You have all these players there, Kennedy, Majid. So it's not really a new thing for me, but the only thing is the players that I'm seeing here, the boys that I'm seeing are boys that I was with them back in the academy in final at Gumwafete. So it was like a good thing for me to see them again. And then but at the end of the day, we're not going to be together for forever. So if I have to make a step which is going to help me in my future, it means I have to do it, because basically I left my family when I was young. So I don't think living this love or this environment will be so hard for me to decide. I have to put my future at first. So I think I need to be mentally strong about that decision, but it has to be me first. So I think I will choose me first.
Which is the best league you've played in, and why?
Wow, it's hard. I think that would be disgusting. It's hard because I have, Belgium league was like one of the best league for me. It was one of my best seasons, and then one of the league that I really saw that I was playing my best games, But coming to Portugal, Portugal is like one of the top 6 leagues. Portugal is one of the top 6. So for sure, I want to go up. So I would take Portugal the best league, because in terms of challenging and in terms of playing against big teams and then the famous clubs and then the big players, I think I'll choose Portugal.
Is there a league you still want to play in that you haven't played in yet? And what's your favorite team in Europe?
Bayern Munich.
Oh, your favorite team is Bayern Munich. Is there a league you want to play in that you haven't featured in yet?
Basically, I'm all about the top 5 leagues, which is the Italian league, Spanish league, German Bundesliga, the League One, and the Premier League. So any of these 5, I'm up to it.
Interesting thoughts there. Let's now talk about your time with the national team and the under-23s. If I remember right, you were part of the team that were unable to qualify for the last Tokyo Olympic Games. Is that true?
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult was that for you as a player to take and for the group itself? Because a lot of Ghanaians were looking forward to you guys being the ones who would take us there after such a long absence from the competition.
Yeah, I mean, with that journey was a good journey for us, because I think we started very good with the game against Togo. I think we won 5-1 in Ghana, and then it was 1-0 in Togo, which we qualified anyways. But it was a good journey for us, because I quite remember when Algeria came to Ghana, we couldn't win that game, and then we had to go there and win. Obviously, it was like a difficult game, because going there, everybody in Ghana was thinking, nah, these boys are going to go out. They're not going to win in that game, you know. And then we had to we pull out what we could for the country, and then for ourselves, and then we qualified. So going to the under 23 tournament and then seeing the team coming back from 0 again was very hard for us also to take. Obviously, I wasn't there because I was with the first team. I mean, the senior national team. So I wouldn't really feel how the other players were feeling at that time. But I think being part of the whole journey from the beginning makes me feel like, nah, we deserve better in that tournament.
You made your Black Stars debut against South Africa, if I'm right. That was under Kwesi Appiah, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. How was your Black Stars debut like? Were you nervous? Was it pressure-packed for you? Were you happy? How can you describe your debut with the senior national team?
Wow. I think that was like a mixed feeling, because I was happy, I was nervous, and I had pressure on me at the same time, because I can remember when my agent called me that they're gonna call me, because I think it was Harrison Afful was injured, and they're gonna call me. It was on Thursday night, and I had the game on Friday. So they called me, and then they said, "You're gonna push your name. So after your game on Friday, you need to fly to Ghana on Saturday." And my agent called me. He told me that you are going to the national team, and to his surprise, and I wasn't like shouting. I wasn't doing nothing. You know, obviously a player from Ghana who's been called to the first team will be shouting and then jubilating. You know, so and then he was surprised. He was like, "I called you to tell you that you're going to the national team," and then all he could say was okay. And then I was like, bro, it's not like I'm not happy. I'm happy, but at the same time, I don't know how to behave, you know, because I wasn't gonna be so happy that I forget that I need to go there thinking as a new player, you know, or I need to go there thinking as I need to prove myself there. So I came to Ghana, and then what happened was, I think Luma was also injured. He couldn't play. So the last training, or the last 2 trainings, Coach Appiah came to me, and then he was like, you need to be ready because Luma is injured and then he cannot play. And then even before that, Luma also came to me. He said, you need to be ready because I cannot play, so you're the one going to play. And then in my head, it was like, I don't think I was ready for this challenge, because obviously I went there as a player who was like a late call-up. And then in my head, I wasn't going to start. I was just going to be in the team and then, you know, enjoy on the bench and enjoy the victory or whatever that goes on in the camp. So I wasn't ready to be a starter in that game. So obviously that on that day I turned off my phone, because the advice from people was so much for me. And then I mean, it was a good thing that people would try to advise me, but on the other side, it was like they were giving me pressure, you know, because it's like everybody's telling you what to do on the field, so you don't know what to do for yourself, So I had to off my phone and then think for myself, And then, fortunately, it went good for me. So it was a good debut for me.
Nice. Now, CK Akono is in the team. Have you been called up under CK Akono yet?
Yeah, for the friendly games in Turkey.
Yes. For against Mali and Qatar.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how do you feel about Black Stars leadership under CK Akono? And also, again, how do you feel about the young core of the Black Stars now? And what do you think about their future with the team?
I think looking at the European countries, I mean, it doesn't really matter if he's a young player or he's an old player or an experienced player. So I think basically if players are out here working hard and then playing good for their clubs, and then even if they are 17 or 18 and then they are valid to represent the country, which is Ghana, I think it's a good thing for us to give them the chance, and then also to give the senior players who are also working hard the chance to be in the national team. So I think with the young boys coming to the national team now, it's a good thing for us to be in the national team. And also, I mean, basically, if I'm old and then my time is not over and somebody wants to take me off the national team, I'm not gonna be happy about it. But obviously, every player wants to be in the national team. So I think giving the young guys chance to be in the national team is also a good thing, because at the end of the day, the future of the national team is going to be for the young boys coming up, not for the players who are retiring or the players who are old now.
Well, I really hope we could speak a lot more, but time won't allow us. We'll have to end the conversation here. I also did hear that you were a really good FIFA player. I wanted to ask where you picked up your FIFA skills from, and how you've honed your game so much. Mumin says you beat him all the time. How did you get so good at FIFA? Just before we go.
Yeah, so I think staying here alone by myself, I do that the most time, because, and I wasn't going to say this, but I spend a lot of money on also buying FIFA and all these things. So I invest much time in it. So obviously I have to be good, because if I invest much time and then I'm not good, that means I'm wasting my time. So I put everything that I can put in playing FIFA. So it makes me it helps me being good.
Next time we have a conversation with you, it will be purely about your away from football stuff, so we can delve into some of your interests. I'm sure you do a lot more aside of, but it's been a pleasure speaking to you, getting to us all the way from Guimaraes. We wish you well in everything that you probably have to do today and the rest of the days ahead.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. So you heard Gideon Mensah there, Vitoria Guimaraes and Ghana left back, getting to us all the way from his base in Portugal, taking us through literally everything: his upbringing, his time at the academy, going to Europe, being courted by Barcelona at a point. It's been an interesting conversation. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. Same time next week, the tracker will be back on your screens.